Vancouver, a picture-perfect postcard. Some call it Canada's playground. Yet there is a dark side to this city, a place where people disappear.
Every day I see violence towards women. Every day I see violence and victimization down here.
You could feel a lot of spirits that are stuck in the main in Hastings. They died in those rooms from men's hands.
I know a lot of the women on the east side. I know some of the women personally that passed away.
In a parking garage near the streets where the women disappeared, something beautiful is being created, inspired by the pain and desire to heal.
This is a memorial totem pole project to be a memorial for downtown East Side women.
Morgan Green is teaching a group of women about their carving traditions while creating a totem pole.
We work together as a group, and we have a lot of group discussions and talking and sharing and going through our pain together or our happiness.
Okay, that part.
We've also been teaching students who are learning things like carving, traditional Northwest Coast style, and regalia and life skills courses. This is hand turning it.
Yeah.
And your foot is like electrically turning it, right?
Yeah.
Marlene Henry is making a traditional cloak. She was nervous when she applied to the course, but she knew she was meant to be there.
When I came in here, I said, if I do not have the talent to be able to carve or to be able to draw, I would sweep this floor every day just to be a part and around the pole. That's how much I wanted to be here.
Georgina James also was determined to help.
I've spent a lot of hours on this pole thinking about those women, crying, getting mad.
I come in every day, and even if I'm not working on a pole, I'll come and I'll just pray over it, because I know that it's for women that, you know, were brutally murdered, and, you know, I like them to have honor in their death. I like them to have the respect.
For those families that lost their mothers or their sisters or their daughters, you know, we can have this like a memorial for them and honor them, because nobody honored them when they died.
We work together as a group, and we have a lot of group discussions and talking and sharing and going through our pain together or our happiness.
Many of the carvers can relate to the women lost on the east side.
I was getting that.
Nobody cared that I lost 5 kids. You know, I was felt alone, and it led me to do the street drugs, and it just numbed it. It didn't make it go away. You know, no matter how much drugs I did, every night after I came down, I would cry, you know, and I just know what an empty life it is.
A lot of them were runaways. They had no ways to support themselves. They were really beautiful people. They laughed and joked, and they put their pants on the same way we do, you know, one leg at a time, you know, and that they didn't deserve what happened to them.
Even though she was on the street, she'd come, she was always connect with my family, because it's before I lost my kids, and she'd help out in little ways, you know, groceries, come over and surprise all the kids with snacks that I would never be able to buy on welfare. And I was so shocked when I read in the paper that, you know, her DNA was found on Picton Farm, and I was in a restaurant, and I just started screaming because I thought she was somewhere else. I mean, it was just shocking. And I'm so sad, you know, I can't tell you how sad I am that this is what happened to her. And, you know, like, she's just a beautiful lady, you know, and I think that people have an idea what these women were about, but they were women like me, struggling, struggling to deal with emotions that were beyond them.
I was 15 years old and I was scared. I was 15 years old and I was on Main and Hastings. I found my mom in the Dotson Hotel, which is probably one of the seedier hotels. My mom fell out this window. Oh. They say she was pushed out. Some people say she jumped, but she didn't jump. They pushed her out this window. Back about 15, 20 years ago, there was a bunch of women that were being thrown out of windows. There's a woman that fell out this window right here. Somebody pushed her. And I was walking down the street. She fell right in front of me, a woman. She died on the way to the hospital. A lot of us didn't trust the government anymore. So you ended up on the streets. You either were a thief, you had to steal, you had to sell drugs, or you had to sell your body. Those were your options. You didn't have a lot of options when you were downtown.
They all spoke of healing and how this project has changed them.
Remember, it was one big log, and I couldn't even imagine the bear on it, never mind the cubs, the moon.
It's like we're life givers to this pole. Yeah. Oh, that's a real nice way of looking at it. Yeah.
And when I drew my first eagle, I just cried. I was just like, thank you, God, because I knew that this is where I was supposed to be. And then I would use that gift to honor the ladies that have lost their lives on the east side.
I can't wait till we can put this pole up. Imagine that day, all those women that passed away, they're gonna come and visit us. And they'll be really happy knowing that we remembered them.
I think that that's a beautiful way of honoring these ladies. You know, all of us that worked on this pole, we put a lot of love, a lot of energy, and a lot of prayers.
I mean, I can't go out there and stop everybody from doing crime or drugs, but what we can do is start to heal our people at the source so that they might not choose to go out and do those things.
A lot of these families, they didn't have no closure for this one. You know, they were murdered. Some of them, they still don't know who the murderer is, or they knew who the murderer is and it's gone through trial after trial after trial. Maybe this pole for them is the end of that circle of grieving.